Hello class, welcome back. Today we are going to go over Inca's religion. So before we go over our goals as a class, will someone raise their hand and say at least one goal that is presented on the screen? Haley, can you? Correct. As a class, let's go over our 3 goals for today. I am able to list 10 characteristics of the Incan religion. I am able to explain how the characteristics are significant to the Incan culture. And the last one, I am able to discuss with classmates about my thoughts on the characteristics of the Incan religion. Awesome job. Now, remember, those goals are important. They will stick with us all day. So, some prior knowledge that we have gone over the past 2 days so far. 2 days ago, we learned about Inca's geography, location, and the food supply. And we learned about Inca's geographical factors and compared them to the factors of Kansas by using our Venn diagrams. And yesterday, we introduced the government, Inca's government, and we learned about characteristics from their society, and we played a matching game to match the characteristics to the correct definition. So, why does the Incan religion, why is that important? Well, it's important because students should care about the Incan civilization religion because ruling Incas used the religion as a huge resource to be able to secure their positions within their societies. So it was a big deal for them. So today we're going to go over 10 characteristics of the Incan religion. And on this slide we are going to go over 3. So the first one is that the Incan religion was based off worshiping many gods. Incas believed that all gods need to be happy, just not one, just not two, all of them. The second characteristic was Panicas. Panicas were in charge of worship for the deities. And the third characteristic was sacred places. Inca had many sacred places, and it was to honor the gods. So before we go on with our lesson for today, we are going to take a quick movement break and do 15 jumping jacks, and then we're going to come back and finish our lesson for today. So let's go do our quick movement break and we'll come back. All right, welcome back. So to continue on with our characteristics, the next important one was the polytheistic, and that means that the gods control the world. Again, gods were really important for the Incan religion. If the gods weren't happy, then no one was happy. And the next one is temples and other buildings were created, and those were also to honor the gods and the road systems. Inca is extremely proud of their roads, and some roads actually are still there, still intact today. The next one is that believes that there is 3 realms. The Hana Pacha, which is the upper world, the Ka Pacha, which is the middle world, and the Uka Pacha, which was the underworld. Not like most religions that believe there's only 2 worlds. They believe that there's 3. They believe the worlds the way you ended up in the world was if you followed their golden rule, basically. If you followed it, you went up to the upper world. If you kinda like you followed it, but didn't really follow it at the same time, you went to the middle world. And if you didn't follow it, you went to the underworld. The next one was do not steal, do not lie, and do not be lazy. That was the golden rule that the Incas believed in, and that is what based people when they died where they went. Either the Hanapacha, the Capacha, the Ucapacha. So the last three characteristics about the Incan religion was that the Incas believed that meat was like a high, like only during important events. It was sacred, like it wasn't sacred, but it was important. It was only like once, it was a bloom once in a while rare meal. So most of the Incans were vegetarians and they felt like food was a gift. Like they needed to use what they could make. So a lot of Incans ate like quinoa or things they could grow. Another thing that was pretty popular in the Incan religion was sacrifices. They had lots of sacrifices, and it didn't matter if it was human, animal, or even food. They usually did sacrifices on important days, and it usually occurred when the sun god would appear. And the last characteristics were confessions. Confessions were made if someone did a bad thing. Like if you broke the golden rule, you had to confess to the gods. You had to basically plead for forgiveness. And so they felt like if you didn't confess that something bad could happen and that you needed to do it. So in the discussion page in Canvas, we are going to you are going to answer the question using at least 4 sentences and responding back to one of our peers. And the question is, how are the characteristics significant to the Inca culture? Now that we went over 10 characteristics, I would like you to explain why they were significant. Give you guys some time to go and do that. All right, welcome back. So today, our major takeaways was that the Incan religion was based off many gods, not just one god, many. And that the Incan religion believed that there was 3 worlds instead of usually 2. And that they believed that once you died, you ended up in one of those 3. Either the Hanapacha, the Capacha, or the Ucapacha, which is the upper, middle, and underworld. Alright, so today we went over the Incan religion. Tomorrow we will go over the social structures and life of an average Incan citizen. And have a great end of your day, and I'll see you guys back tomorrow for our next lesson. Have a good night.